Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Keep it steady, steady. To the letter, right? Turn it up, y'all keep it flow.
But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
What you talking about? Space out your mind.
But can you rock it like rockets,
That's
fool?
a close encounter of what kind?
Ready, set, stay back. Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Turn it up, y'all keep it flow.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football.
Okay, Coach, we are just west of downtown Denver off of I-25 at Empower Field at Mile High. Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Oakland Raiders and the Denver Broncos. This will be fielded at the 6. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Got it. 54, right there, 54 miles. Let's go one more. Check. Press up. Hit it. Press up.
Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
54. Watch the run.
Come.
54.
Now way to throw on second. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver first.
Nice idea, nice concept there. Line him up on the left side of the formation, let him sneak his way across, coming back underneath, put it in his hands, let him get a few more yards after the catch, too.
Great way to utilize a tight end on the drag route. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Coverage was excellent downfield. I think he was more throwing that football away than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely, because everywhere you looked, they were covered.
Sometimes it's better to go ahead and be convinced that there's no place to fit in the football than to go ahead and force it and turn it into a bad play.
On second down, a run with Lindsay. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with third and still 7 yards to go. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
He's got a man. It's set, and that's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 23.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
And logo.
You better bring it. Check nine.
Ready.
On first and 10, it's Lindsay. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On second down, it's Lindsay. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Pretty darn good, as you see right there on your screen.
I'll echo that. Darn good. 2 touchdowns, right? And the ability to be in sync with each other, right? To understand that he's going to be where the quarterback expects him to be when the ball's thrown.
Freeman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And the Raiders have got him. Jordan Jenkins In there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, you only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
Let's go, D.
They'll start here with Jackson, and he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down.
Hey. 4 down. Check.
He'll drop to throw. It's caught. Jones. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. The drive stays alive. A 3rd down gain of 8. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch out. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship.
They'll look to throw here. It's caught by Jackson.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 39-yard line. They run on 1st down with Jackson, and he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full.
Safety's creeping.
On 2nd down, this is Jackson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Able to find Walter. That's complete. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 22-yard line. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
On the draw, it's Jackson. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. Here's Elway to throw, and this is going to be incomplete. Deshaun Hamilton, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. They'll get this to Phillip Lindsay, complete. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah, a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. So the Broncos coming out now, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
Elway will throw. Got a man open. It's Sutton. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. Out of the gun, Elway. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Now Elway to throw. Open man, and again it's Sutton. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards. He'll find Lindsey here. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brings up 3rd down and 3 yards to go.
On the ready.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Throwing again, it's Elway. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. He hit his first one. This from 44 yards out now. And the 13-year man puts it through, and that will do it for this first half. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally, because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now it's Jackson. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. Third and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said. 3rd and long, got to push it downfield to try and pick up the first down. Defensive backs live.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Noah Fant, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They trail by 10, 13-3 as they come up on a 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
First down, Raiders.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. And when you go 5 wide like they just did there, you can't really max protect, can you?
No, you cannot. What you're hoping is that by going 5 wide, you're forcing the defense into coverage. And if you do that, you got a chance to find some people downfield. But if they audible themselves and go into a blitz, then it's got to happen right now.
Or lights out.
Or exactly right. Turn them out. That play's over.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll set up a throw, and this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, it's Elway. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, and it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. Well, 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind, while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
And now here come the Raiders. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
On first down, it's Jackson. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Again, it's Jackson as he'll stay on the ground. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
65.
Another run by Lindsey. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Broncos on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Elway. He completes this to Sutton. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. He got 29 yards that time. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now a carry for Lindsey. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you?
And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Noah Fant with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Broncos push further out in front.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A Raider first down, 17 yards. And this is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now a pass caught by Zay Jones. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got his man. It's Williams. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit. The extra point up and good. And that will shave 1 more off this lead. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Let's go!
So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
The throw taken in by Hamilton. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. From the gun, it's Elway. He's got his tight end Fant. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I can be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
I know for us it's fun, and it's not so much fun for the rookie receivers when we see them coming into the league and we're going to training camps. You see them working on getting 2 feet down instead of 1. But the best ones train in college trying to get 2 down instead of 1, so the transition's a little bit less. In this case, though, wasn't able to complete it anyway.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for Denver. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. So the Raiders now down by 10. At time, a huge factor. Now their losing streak in danger of continuing as they come up on 1st down. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up. 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. He'll look to throw. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure.
Check 50.
They'll run on 1st down. Lindsey. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Let's go. 60 or. Cut. Tight dog.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. On third down, here's Lindsey. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a fourth down. So they went a little cautious there on third and long.
And nothing wrong with that. Remember, they're playing with a lead right now. So getting a first down, yes, that would be great. But even more importantly, take care of the football. No turnovers, no big plays for the other team, and keep the clock moving.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, two-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's caught inside the 20.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
And Charles, you know what coaches